heartiest welcome to this value added course on data mining and data analytics. So students, this is our third day and we are going to study about data collection and sampling methods. In our last classes we have studied about what is data, what is information, what are the data sources, and the introduction of the data collection methods also. Okay, yesterday you have seen in the practical session how the data can be collected. Okay, now we are going to discuss about the data collection method or sampling methods. Okay, step by step. Okay, and how this is connected to the data mining process. What is the knowledge discovery process? We are going to discuss today. What are the steps of knowledge discovery process? So in data mining, we find out a hidden information or which have the importance. Okay, so data mining we use for this. Data mining is the process that uses a variety of data analysis tools to discover patterns. So these patterns are important. Relationship, we want to find out the relationship among the data to make valid predictions. So profiling of customers is data mining method, selection and sampling. So because we are dealing with a huge amount of data mining is a process. So we have to discover the patterns, new patterns, relationship that is common among the data. So in the data mining process, description of the data is important. We should know how to describe the data. In our initial classes, we have studied what is data, what types of data sources. Suppose we are collecting the data, we should know how to describe the data. So we come on this step also. Before that also we should know so many things about we should know how we can collect the data, like collection, sampling, how sampling is done. That is important before the next event, because description will come after that. Okay, but this is the describing the data, because data mining has the two main steps, that is the descriptive data mining and predictive data mining. In the prediction we do the modeling, in the description we describe the data using chart, graphs, etc. So this is the part of this, and in the final step we do the modeling. Okay, but can we rely on the prediction? But we have to confirm. So we should know how we should start, what are the different steps. So we are doing the analysis and we are doing the predictive modeling. We are making the predictive models. So good model should never be confused with the reality. It is just a road map, like you see the map, but roads are zigzag, but you don't see the zigzag roads on the map. Okay, so yesterday we have discussed about the information theory, how this is related, how the information is important, how this is received. So what is the role of medium? So medium play an important role. So this is the analogy. Suppose we are it is compared with the database like genome. We have taken yesterday, we have taken the example like genome. We have the data. This is the local database in our body. In the chromosome it is stored data, that is data archive. From there you can retrieve the proteins, enzyme retrieve the gene from the chromosome. So chromosome is like a data archive and gene is like a data warehouse. Okay, so that is a centralized database. We can say the gene is the centralized database. Sometimes there are pseudogenes also. Sometimes the genes are active, sometimes there are the genes that are not active, like in the alternation of generation. In the lower plants there is the alternation of generation, like haploid diploid generation. So gene is a local database. Sometimes the genes are expressed and sometimes the genes are not expressed in the generation. So you can say that is a warehouse. Warehouse means centralized place. Suppose in our home we want to paint our house, so we'll do the cleaning, we will take out all the stuff out from the room, then we will do the painting. So we look for the centralized place, so that is called warehousing, centralized. From that place we can arrange the stuff again, okay, in the particular room. So that is like that. RNA is like also the local database. And now this is a protein, that is a RAM. So an analogy has been given like random access memory. So protein level changes with the time. Any chemical, so it can change with the time because of the different environment condition like temperature and any conditions. So even all the chemicals, they show the changes. So protein is also a chemical, so it shows the changes. It can change according to in the summer we do not feel the easy because temperature rises, so it impact on our health also. In the winters we feel good, we have the good health. So everybody, the vegetable, fruits, so we get good amount of fruits and vegetables, and we also become healthy in the winter because of suitable temperature. So proteins are affected by any chemical is affected by any factor. So we can give the analogy. This analogy is given random access memory because it change, okay, it is not constant. But chromosome or sometimes genes are expressed, but during the lifetime it is constant. During the lifetime the genes are constant. So we have the same genome also. Genome amount is constant for a particular species. So for collecting the biological data, we can search in the biological databases. So NCBI is the great one, that is a big data model, and from the NCBI you can collect the information about drug compound also, genome, gene, protein, pathways, okay, about everything you can collect the information, biosystems, and drug compound also. So chemical compound also you can search in the PubChem database, okay. So that is also, so there are some scientists that they have worked on this. So there is a lot of data that is available in the databases, but we need the tool. So there is the development of tool in this century, okay, in the last. So we are developing the tools for the analysis of the data and for the data mining. So this is the example of gene bank. So you can compare the year wise how the data is keep on increasing. You can compare in 1982. So now, so this was the data of last data of 2002. So now there is many more, okay. So these are the different branches according to if we study the gene using computational method, that is called genomics. If we study gene expression analysis, that is called transcriptomics, or okay, proteomics is the study of the proteins. So these are the now mining of the data. Why we are doing the mining? To discover the knowledge. So yesterday we have talked about the information. So why we analyze the information? To discover the knowledge, okay. So that is called, that process is called knowledge discovery process, okay. So knowledge discovery process is also used for data mining. So data mining, why we do the data mining? To discover the knowledge, and knowledge discovery process is the data mining. So interchangeably these terms are used. Data mining is the discovery of useful knowledge from database. This is okay. So it is the main step in the process known as knowledge discovery. What are the steps of knowledge discovery process? because if we do the comparison, we do the analysis of the information or data, then we discover the knowledge. How we discover? When we apply some method. Yesterday I have told you it involves the human experience also, means we do it practically, then we can say we have the knowledge. Suppose we have heard something from about any news, but we cannot confirm, we cannot do the any confirmation until or unless we are experiencing that. So that is called knowledge. Sometimes we used to listen different things from different persons, but after some time we come to know this is not the truth. We reveal the reality during the time period. So that is this process. So knowledge हमें कब होती है? When we experience the reality, that is our knowledge. और जब तक हम उसे practically नहीं करेंगे हमें knowledge नहीं होती है. So knowledge involve practical process. Data mining employ data mining algorithms, techniques from statistics, machine learning, artificial intelligence, databases and database. So these all are important. So first of all, in this lecture we are going to discuss about the statistical method also. That is important. So before any method, so we apply the statistical method. So statistical methods are important. So these are there is a popular method, classification method. So some of the popular tasks are classification, clustering, association. These are the different that are used for the analysis. So we will discuss about these methods, but before that, today we are going to discuss about the pre-processing. So in the pre-processing, this selection, collection, sampling will come. So depending on the nature, there is a different kind of knowledge. So there is a large number of algorithms for each task. All of these algorithms try to fit a model to the data. Such a model can either be predictive or descriptive. So there are the two types, like descriptive we do the description, and prediction we do the modeling. We assume it will be like that. So these are basically two types. Now come to the steps of the knowledge discovery process. So there is the first step, selection and sampling of the appropriate data from database. So this is very important step, because on the internet you have seen there is a lot of data. So which data you should select? Which data is important for you? That is important. You may also have search on the databases. So you need to do the selection. You need to decide whatever you want to do. What is your objective of conducting the any experiment or any practical? What is your objective? You have to decide. Any researcher or any scholar should decide what I am going to do. So selection is important. Selection and sampling depend on that, because in database we have lot of data. And you have to do the data mining, of course you have to do, but you cannot take all data. You do not have the resources for the analysis of that data also. So pre-processing is the next step, and cleaning of the data to remove redundancies, errors and conflicts. Sometimes there is the unwanted data error. So we have to remove before processing of data, actual data mining. Before actual data mining, we need to process the data. So pre-processing and cleaning is important because we don't want the errors or any conflicts. Okay, then only we can apply. At the step 4 we apply the data mining algorithms or computational method. Actually step 4 involve the computer method. Okay, and nowadays we are getting the tool for the pre-processing and cleaning of the data. We have the computer tool, computational tools for that also. Okay, in the Excel we can do so many things. Transformation, for the data transformation also we have so many tools. Okay, so data transformation is also necessary. Sometimes data, I have told you, the chemical, biological data, materials, because we have so much diversity in the material, in the chemical, in the biological data. There is too much diversity, or their formats are vary. So we sometimes we need to transform that data. Okay, so that data can be in the similar format and we can perform a computational analysis on that data. So that is very important. Then there is a step that is called evaluation of mined data. Means after applying a computer algorithm or computational tool, after processing of data, means data mining, what is means we have applied the algorithm or computation method. After that has processed the data, after processing of data, now we have to do the evaluation of the mined data. Mined data means processes data, that is means now we have find out the patterns in the data. We need to recognize those patterns. We need to find out the relationship among the data. So that we will do in the evaluation. Visualization of the evaluation result. So that is important. Whatever model we have made, so in the evaluation we are like mined data is presented in the form in a model. Okay, that is a means like predictive model. We are analyzing the weather forecasting model, rainfall model. Okay, so we can analyze, like company can analyze their own models. They have made the predictive models. So visualization of the evaluation result is important. So any scholar, they should produce the good model that can be analyzed. So visualization is important, evaluation of result is important. So if we want the good evaluation, then visualization should be very good. Like in the form of graph and chart, data can be analyzed easily, but it cannot be analyzed using the tables. So using the histogram, graph, P chart, we can analyze the data of the company. Okay, and even the data of the drug bank also, like chemical or any drug molecule. We can analyze the properties of the chemical, like melting point. Okay, what is the activity of the molecule and how it is going to act against the disease. So we can compare the physico-chemical properties like partition coefficient. So we all get this data in the Excel format or CSV format, and we can process that data and we can do the comparison. There will be the grouping of the drugs or grouping of the chemicals on the basis of those parameters. So that if we are getting the result in the form of graph, charts, that will be easy for us to do the analysis, because it is very difficult to look at the Excel table. We cannot remember the data from the Excel or in any format. Okay, we cannot remember everything, all the values. So visualization play an important role. So the step 7 is designing new data query to test new hypothesis and returning to step 1. So this is similar to what we are going to discuss now. Okay, means now we have analyzed. Now okay, we can say this is not the suitable method, so we can change the method again. We can do again the pre-processing cleaning. If we are thinking that we were wrong, or we can improve our research, so we can repeat this process. In the research, why we research? What is research? Research means do it again to improve the model. So we have to repeat this process. So we can come to the step 1. What is hypothesis? Whatever is in your mind before doing any analysis. What is your objective? What you want to do? What is your objective to conduct this analysis or research? So that will come on the step 1. You can improve. You can work according to your objective. If there is no conclusion according to your objective, you can repeat this process. What is important thing? What is the objective of this study? Why you are doing this data mining, this descriptive data mining, predictive? So these are all the steps to gain the knowledge. So we are conducting a practical, suppose, and we discover the knowledge. So if you want the improvement or you want to know more, then you have to repeat that process, that the results are true or not. And we can test the new data queries also. Suppose you have done the different query, now you can change the query and you can test the result, whether they are matching or not. So these are the two, we will discuss it later. Now what is important? So there are two types of variable: predictor variable. In the prediction we have the predictor variable independent, that is not in our hand. Okay, like rainfall, that is not in our hand. So rainfall is precipitation is independent variable. Okay, because that is not in our hand. Temperature also, but temperature we control. Sometimes in the laboratory we control the temperature, or we can conduct our studies in winter or summer, that is in our control. Like we are conducting the practical in the summer or winter, so that is our choice. But okay, so what is independent variable? Means that is not in your control, that is independent variable. And there is one dependent variable that you can control, dependent variable, like you can control the time, or sometimes you do the analysis at a different times, although that is not also in your control, but in the experiment you can do that, day 1, day 2, day 3, or first hour, second hour, you can conduct the experiment. Okay, so that variable is known as dependent variable or independent variable. Independent variable means you are going to analyze, you are going to do the prediction on that. And predictive models are built or trained using data for which the values of response variable is already known. Suppose we have the two kind of patient in the hospital, like normal one and abnormal with the disease, with the cancer patient. So we will do the two kind of comparison. We will compare the unknown data of unknown patient with the reference database for which we have the data, already known variables. Means we already have the data about the normal patient and abnormal. Then we will compare. Okay, to whom it is matching. If it is matching with the normal one, that will be the normal person. Means the unknown patient will not have disease. If it is abnormal, that will the person will have disease. So it will depend on the, so that is called response variable. But we should have the reference data also for the comparison. So that is known as, so there are two things. We have the test data, test set, like unknown patient data, and we have the trained data sets, that is known data, non-patient data. Okay. So this kind of training is sometimes referred to as supervised learning, because we have the prior data, we have prior information, we are using prior. So this is called supervised learning. Because, so I'm not going to discuss in detail, because so these are the different names of the method that are used. These are the names of tools that can be used for data mining. SS. And there are some biological data mining tools also, Gene Spring, Spotfire. So these are the names of the tools, okay, that can be used. On the NCBI also there are different tools. In the genomics we use all kinds of methods. So generally there is the use of combined method for the data mining. Statistical methods are used in a combination of information theory based, okay, like used in the computational methods. So there is the use of combined methods. So data mining operation is shown here. You can look at this process. Separate databases, selection and sampling. So this will come on the first place. These are the separate databases. From this we can collect the data. We can also collect the data from the direct observation from the experiment. What we do in our daily life, you know? These database, computer database have come later on. But daily we do something. So we do the direct observation. जब कंप्यूटर नहीं था तब हम लोग यही करते थे. बट सिलेक्शन सैम्पलिंग तो पहले से ही हमारे पास मेथड है. दिस इज द मेथड ऑफ स्टैटिस्टिकल टेक्निक्स. वी डू द प्री प्रोसेसिंग बिकॉज देयर इज द यूज ऑफ कंप्यूटर. सो वी डू द प्री प्रोसेसिंग, क्लीनिंग, ऐसे भी हम लोग करते थे. यूजिंग द कंप्यूटर इट हैज़ बिकम ईजी. टेम्परेरी स्टोरेज हम करते हैं, डेट इज कॉल्ड डेटा वेयर हाउसिंग. After pre-processing there is the data transformation and reduction. Sometimes we reduce unwanted data also. In the cleaning we have already removed the data, or sometimes we transform the data. और transformation हो जाता है तो हम उसे आगे use करते हैं. Otherwise हम उसे we remove that data if it cannot be transformed, because data should be in a similar format. और data mining एक कोई method हम apply करते हैं, that is from the computer science. उसका इवैल्यूएशन करता हूँ, फिर विजुलाइजेशन करता. दिस इज ऑल प्रोसेस. ठीक है. तो यहाँ पे हम देखते हैं सिलेक्शन एंड सैम्पलिंग, दैट इज इम्पॉर्टेंट मेथड बिफोर द प्री प्रोसेसिंग. So here you can see we collect the data from online databases using the internet. We apply the taxonomy. Obviously we should know the gene is different from proteins, and there are the different families, gene family, protein family, chemical family also, aromatic compounds, we have aliphatic compounds, okay. So the different taxonomy. So according to that, data dictionary is used. How data are identified, the chemicals are identified. Chemicals have the different structures, different chemical compounds. So even the structures can be searched. If there is the tool, there is the searching in the databases. And nowadays we also do the drug designing. We make the change in the chemical compound, and in that way the activity of the molecule is changed. If we change the structure, if we change the position of the group on the chemical, then there is the change in the activity of the compound. So data dictionary is used to define the structure. There is the use of data dictionary, that is important, no, because only the expert person, they can identify the data, they can recognize the pattern. So we need the dictionary to interpret the chemical data. Data dictionary is used, that is important. Okay, so there is a data warehouse. We store the data for the temporary time. So using the internet we get lot of information on the workstation, so it can be analyzed. So here on the bottom panel you can see there is a data dictionary, use of archive data, medical relevance, gene expression. These are the different kinds of data we can save. We can separate the data and we can save according to that. Okay, so these all are connected with each other, and this is the process pattern, how we recognize the pattern among the data. So first we should select the feature selection. We select the features, we do the measurement, processing, then features extraction, then we apply the method accordingly. We classify that. Suppose I got the students from the multiple background, various background. Now I have done the classification. I have made the two groups, like group A and group B. So this is my classification. This is the classification I have done according to the data, because the students belong to different backgrounds. So I got the 259 entries. So I have divided into two groups on the basis of their background. So this is the classification method I have applied just before one day. So before that I have extracted the features. What are these features? Like, what is your background? BTech chemical engineering, BTech material science. They can be clubbed together, or with the B Pharma student with the BSc biotechnology, because all are studying about the chemicals or material science. This include everything, chemical or any atom or any substance, any kind of material. So on the basis of that, I have done that processing. Okay, feature selection. Feature is important for any classification. So I have seen the pattern. What is the common pattern? Because they all study the chemical, okay, they can be grouped together. And computer science student, electronics, IT, mechanical. So I have done the another grouping. Okay, so that depends on the researcher or scholar who is going to perform the study. That is very important. What decision making we do for that. So there is a different method that can be applied for the data binding method. These are the names of the method. We are not going to discuss about this method, but these are the method: classification, segmentation. Now come to this research and analysis. From where we should begin? You should formulate the research problem. First of all, you should have the problem. If you are searching in a database, you should have one task. Okay, suppose searching in a diabetes database, or you should have the reason. Okay, like we begin with formulate the research problem. You should have a problem that you are going to solve. Okay, so it can be anything. Suppose we want to, so you can take any problem you can, for example, we take the for the easy understanding, can we take the example from the daily life? Do you have any problem, students? We can take that problem also for this explanation. So we can begin with the problem. So it can be anything. Suppose we want to purchase a dress. We want to go to a party. We want to purchase a dress. So that is our problem. Okay. Now how we will begin? First we will see which type of dress we want to wear. That is our interest. We want to wear a good dress. Okay. We want to go to a party. So that is your objective. Okay, now you will look for the resources. What are the methods? You have the limited money, like 200 rupees or 300 rupees. You have the limited resources. Now you have to do the research. Why? Because you have the limited money and you have to look for the suitable market that can provide you the cheap and best dress. So that is the formula of the research problem. Because what is the problem? You want to find out the cheap and best dress. And for that you have to, hello, there was a disconnection, but lecture is on the recording. You will get the recording of this lecture. Can you tell me where I was? Can anybody of you tell me what I was discussing? I was on this slide. This we have discussed. Just tell me.
Ma'am, you were discussing about data mining and data operations.
This one, no?
Yes, ma'am.
This I have done. This figure. Hello. Hello. Okay, that will come in the recording.
You were discussing this figure. It was not. I guess it was not completed. You were discussing this figure. You have completed the. Yeah, this slide was completed. That the note one. This one was on the go.
Okay. So these are all the staffs. So that everything is the lecture is on the recording. Okay. So if anything is missed, you can get. So selection and sampling is the important step after the pre-processing cleaning. Then data should be in a similar format so that any computer method can be applied for that. Then we can do the evaluation. Okay. So this is the process, data mining or knowledge discovery process. So here also you can see the different from the online database using the internet. We collect the database. We collect the information. So taxonomy is different. So they the use of the data dictionary because they the broad category of data like material. Sometimes we have chemical. Sometimes we have biological molecules. So these are the different. So taxonomy is needed, like aromatic compound, aliphatic compound. So who is going to identify how these data are identified? So there is the taxonomy and there is the use of the data dictionary. Okay, so there is the tools that can process this chemical information for different kinds of the data. So data according to the object or entity, data varies. So using the data dictionary, and we use the data warehouse approach to separate the data. So on the basis of that, we have the different kinds of data like medical relevance, gene expression, and then the use of the computational tools also, and use of the high performance workstation for the effective data mining operations. So if we want to mine the large amount of data, we should have the high performance computing system. This is the pattern. Suppose I have taken the example like I have done the grouping. So I have identified the pattern like I got 259 entries. So you belong to the different backgrounds. So on the basis of your background, I have made the two classes, group A and group B. So feature I have selected and I have done the grouping. So that is called feature extraction. So that is my way of processing, and I have done the classification. I have divided into two groups like group A and group B. I have already explained. Okay, these are the all different methods. So this is your way of classification. What is in your mind? What is the in the mind of researcher who is going to conduct the study? So it is applied according to that. Now come to the research analysis. So for this, are you all here? So in this, here we can begin with the problem. We should have the problem before starting anything. We want to start any analysis, you should have a problem. Suppose for example we can take the problem like we want to purchase a dress. Suppose we want to go into a party and we want to purchase a party dress. Okay, that is important for us. Okay, so but we have the limited resources. Suppose we have the 200, 300 rupees or 500 rupees or limited amount. Sometimes we have 1000. So what is our resource? According to that we want to purchase. Okay, in the market there will be no dress, no party dress that cost the 200-300. So we have to think what is our resource. According to that, we have to conduct the practical. Like we will go into the market, which market we should go. Among the market also, you need to select the market also where you can get your dress. So purchasing a party dress, that is your problem. So if there is a limited resources, then you need to do the research on the market also. Okay, to which market you should go. You will ask from your friends, in which market I can go. So usually we do that before going to the market. We decide what is our objective, what we want to do, how much money we have. So that is our resource. Okay, so define population and sample, that is important step. Okay, we do the sampling, like we select the market. In this market we will go, Kalyanpur we will go, Gurgaon. So in which market we want to go. So obviously you cannot go. If you have the time, you can visit all the markets. So that will also cost you high. So you need to look. So population, we need to define the population. Then we need to do the sampling. Means you will take out some. You will take out few. There are multiple markets, but you will take out. You will visit only 1 or 2 market, or you want to visit the 1 market, or you can visit the multiple shops in the same market. Okay. From the same market you can purchase. You will visit a multiple shop in the same market. So define population and sampling is important. This is important. So it depends on your resources also. Now collect the data means you will collect the data. You will go to the multiple shop from the, suppose you have gone in the 1 market. Now you will collect the data. How? You will go to the multiple shop, then you will ask the price of the dress at each shop. Then you will compare. You will collect the data and you will do the comparative analysis. So usually you do. Usually in our daily life we are carrying out this process. Whatever practical we are doing, that is our knowledge process. Okay. So in each day we enhance our knowledge. So we collect the data. We compare the cost of the each dress. Then which one is the cheapest, we can select that according to our resources. But wearing a good dress is also your problem, because you want to wear a good dress, not only that is the cheapest. So cheap means cheap and best dress. Okay, so these are your 2 criteria. So you have to optimize, you have to do the analysis according to that. So you will look at the shop, you will look at the dress which can fit to you on both the criteria, and you will look at the shop like who can provide you the cheap and best dress in a minimum price. In the minimum price we want to get a good dress or the stylish dress. Sometimes there is the quality is important, sometimes there is the fashion or a style statement is important. So it depends on you what is your criteria. That are the features. Features means what you want to look in that. So features depends on you. Feature selection that will be done by the researcher. So do the descriptive data analysis. We do the descriptive data analysis, like shopkeeper will show you the dress. This is the different dresses, and you can select. Then you will ask about the price one by one, and you do the comparison. So in your mind you don't take the copy and pen in the market, but you can conduct, you can take that, but usually your mind do the calculation for that. So that is your descriptive data analysis. You are looking at the different dresses and you are choosing. So वो क्या करता है शॉपकीपर, वो क्या कहता है कि फर्स्ट विच ड्रेस यू लाइक, यू जस्ट सेपरेट दैट ड्रेस. तो उन ड्रेसेस को वो क्या कहता है, एक तरफ रखवा लेता है. जो भी आप पसंद करता है ना वो एक तरफ रखवा लेता है, ये इसमें से आप. तो वो क्या करता है, दैट इज कॉल्ड डेटा वेयर हाउसिंग करता है. वो एक तरह की वेयर हाउसिंग है. वो टेम्परेरी स्टोरेज बनाता है ना, जो भी बहुत सारी मल्टीपल ड्रेसेस हैं और जिन पे भी हाथ रखते हैं. यू आर कीपिंग हैंड ऑन द ड्रेस. सो shopkeeper used to collect those dresses in the separate place. So that is called data warehousing. That is temporary storage according to the user. आप उसके यूज़र हैं, कस्टमर हैं, उसके अकॉर्डिंग, और फिर उसमें से आप इन दैट लोकल स्टोरेज वेयर हाउस यू कैन सेलेक्ट योर ड्रेस. ओके, देन यू विल आस्क द प्राइस अगेन, इसका प्राइस क्या है, उसके ही आप प्राइस पूछेंगे, डेटा आप उसी का कलेक्ट करेंगे. दैट इज अ सैम्पलिंग, दैट इज द काइंड ऑफ सैम्पलिंग, because shopkeeper has multiple dresses, but those dresses who you like, the sampling is done according to that. Okay, और उसी का हम डेटा कलेक्ट करेंगे. बिकॉज वी कैन नॉट कलेक्ट डेटा ऑफ ऑल द ड्रेसेस कि हम मार्केट जाते हैं और फिर शॉपकीपर के पास जितनी भी ड्रेस हैं, ऑब्वियसली वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू कलेक्ट द डेटा ऑफ एवरी ड्रेस और प्राइस. सो दैट इज द एग्जॉस्टिव प्रोसेस. सो वी डू द सैम्पलिंग इन आवर डेली लाइफ. वी टेक आउट फ्यू ड्रेसेस, देन वी डू द एनालिसिस ऑफ दैट. तो ये हमारा मेथड है, यूज़ अप्रोप्रिएट स्टैटिस्टिकल मेथड टू सॉल्व द रिसर्च प्रॉब्लम. तो हमारा मेथड क्या होगा, व्हाट इज़ अवर मेथड, चीप प्राइस, मिनिमम प्राइस, गुड क्वालिटी ऑफ क्लोथ की जो क्वालिटी है वो अच्छी होनी चाहिए, कलर दैट इज़ इम्पॉर्टेंट, स्टाइल दैट इज़ ऑल्सो इम्पॉर्टेंट. स्टाइल क्या है, कलर क्या है, साइज. So these are all important. So this will be using these features. So you will apply method. So combined method will be applied. So ultimately you will solve the problem. You will purchase the dress. Report the result. Okay. तो ये सब हम करते हैं और इससे हमें क्या conclusion मिलता है? Then we got the dress what we wanted. अगर हमें नहीं मिलता, sometimes we move to the another market also. But if you get the dress from the same market, then you don't visit to the next market. और आपकी वो क्या है, resources हैं आपके पास, तो ऐसा आप करते हो. ठीक है. Hello, is it clear to you? Now this is data collection. What is this? Sampling is the method that allows us to get information about population based on the statistics from a subset of population. Okay, so you can see without having to investigate every individual. So in the shop you don't want to investigate all the dresses, you only take out few. So from the population you take out the sample. Okay, here you are looking, so sample is this is called sampling, part of population. All the dresses are complete population of that shop, from that you are taking the sample. And this you have done before going to the market also, because you have selected the market. There are multiple market in the Kanpur, but you have selected only one market. That is also your sampling method. You have selected that market for the purchasing. Sometimes you select Naveen market, sometimes you select on the basis of your requirement. Okay, it depends. So that is also sampling. Before stepping out from the home, you have done the sampling. Like market you have selected. Now dress you have to select, so you have to do the sampling. Okay, this is called sampling methods. So name you should remember. Okay, I think it is clear to you. Now I will take the another slide. I have searched on the internet, so we have the good PDF. This is by data collection, and this is the slide I got. So now this is the part of statistics. Actually statistics is combined with the data mining. In the data mining there is the use of the statistics. So in the data science there is the use of the statistics. Statistics is a tool for converting data into information. So what you did, you have collected, shopkeeper has made the collection according to your choice, a separate collection. From that you have selected the dress. So from data, applying the statistics, you have the information. It is converted into information. Okay. So because before going to the market, you don't know which one will be the suitable market. Suppose you have asked from your friend which one can be suitable market to purchase this kind of dress. So statistics you apply. You collect the data from your friends. You collect the data, on the basis of that you apply the statistic. What kind of statistic? Like price, item price, whether dress is stylish or not. You want to wear a simple dress or you want to wear a different kind of dress, like sometimes it is okay, it is sari, sometimes it is suit, so it depends on, so there may be the different kind of statistics according to that. So we retrieve the information, the data is converted into information. So how it is converted? According to your objective, what you want to do. So that information may be useful or not, it is according to the objective. So we apply the method is important also. So where then does data come from? Here is it gathered? How do we ensure it is accurate? Is the data reliable? Sometimes you ask your friend the which market will be suitable, so sometimes you satisfied from the answer, sometimes you don't become satisfied. If you get the dress according to your choice, then you will be satisfied, but sometimes there will be the different thing, like you didn't get the dress of your choice, then you will move to the next market. You will ask from your another friend, then which can be the suitable market. If you are new in the city, then you can ask from your friend. That will be a great problem. But if you are the old customer, that will not be a problem. Is the data reliable? Is it representative of the population from which it was drawn? So now we explore some of these. So from the same area, we may have the different kind of shop. In one shop, we only find the simple dress. In another shop, we find out the stylish dresses. So is it the data is reliable? So in the same market, suppose there is not the we are not getting, that is not popular for the good dresses, but in that market also we can get the cheap and best cheap dress, because that market is not famous, but one shop may have the collection of the dress that you wanted within the cheap price you can get. So for that, so is it representative of population from which it was drawn? So that is important. So we now explore some of these issues. So there are some issues, because money is the main issue and you want to wear a good dress. So from the less famous market, you can purchase the good dress also, because he can give you at the minimum price, or it can be vice versa also. If there are the multiple shops, they will do the competition, they can. So there are the certain issues. So it depends. Methods of collecting data, so that is important, which method we will use. So sometimes there is the direct observation, means you observe, you go to the market, you do the observation, but sometimes you cannot go to the market, okay, but ultimately if you want to experience, we have to, if we want to have the knowledge, then we have to go there. Experiments we conduct the experiment. Obviously to purchase the dress, you are not going to conduct the experiment how much the cloth quality is good or not. You will not take the chemical to the market. So it depends, because you have limited resources. So resources is important. Experimental methodology what we are using, that also depend on the resources, what kind of resources we have. Okay, if any person who has the time and money, they can conduct the experiment. So companies conduct the experiment on the clothes variety, quality of clothes. They conduct the experiment. They do the research on the other companies' products. They do the experiment and they make their best product by doing the comparison of the product of the another company. So that is their work. But you are not the businessman. You have the limited time, so you don't conduct the experiment before purchasing a dress. So that depends. Survey, so depend on the resources are important also. Obviously we do the direct observation is the best method. Survey you conduct. Sometimes the company who want to start a new business in the area, like food business in the particular area, so he will look how many shops are there, how many hawkers are there in that part. Suppose anybody want to start the street food shop in that area, or we want to start a new restaurant in that area. So he will look for he will do the survey, what kind of population is there. Okay, is that a labor area or middle class area or high class area, what kind of user are there, or what is the population of that. So that is important. So we conduct the survey before starting any business, so that can be important. Surveys. A survey solicits information from people like Gallup polls, pre-election polls, marketing surveys, response rate. Okay. Like before any election, politicians क्या करते हैं, they conduct the है ना polls, वो किसी को लगा देता है ना कि पोल कंडक्ट कीजिए. न्यूज़ चैनल्स वाले भी आज के लिए काम करते हैं. मार्केटिंग कंपनी मार्केटिंग सर्वे कराती हैं to know about the product requirement. Okay, requirement analysis is necessary. Requirement is important. Until or unless we require anything, we don't do that work. Until or unless it becomes necessary for us. Response rate. Response क्या है? If we want to introduce a new restaurant, so what is the requirement and what is the response rate? So we have to conduct the survey. What is the requirement of that area, whether that product will be purchased or not. So what kind of business can be done. So first we need to look for the problem of that area, what problem the people are facing in that area. If the people are facing any problem in that area, then they need the solution of that problem, and your business will work. If you provide a solution to the problem of the people or large number of population, then your business can work. If you are providing a solution to the society, so they will pay you for that, so you can do the good business there. So response rate is depend on that. Portion of all the people selected who complete the survey is a key survey parameter. Survey may be administered in varieties of ways: personal interview, telephone interview, and self-administered questionnaire. We can ask the personal interview. We can do the personal interview from the hawkers. We can ask what type of food the people like here. We can do the telephonic interview also. It depends. Self-administered questionnaire. We can make the questionnaire. We can make the set of 5 questions, 6 questions. Like, I want to know about your interest, so I have made the feedback form. So I want to know about your interest or the problems you are facing or any suggestion. So okay, I'm doing that. So that is important. Feedback provide the important clue. Now how we design the questionnaire. So questions we should design like keep the questionnaire as short as possible, because if there is a long or lengthy form, nobody is going to fill. कि आप कहेंगे ना, you will go to the market, you may make a big form, then nobody is going to fill that form. Okay, nobody has the time to fill up that form. So you have to keep it short and simple as possible. Ask short, simple, clearly worded questions. Okay, so that everybody can understand. Your language should be like that. You cannot ask a complicated question. If you will ask, then nobody is going to talk to you and nobody is going to answer. Start with demographic question to help respondent get started comfortably. You can ask the common questions so that people can involve, people can feel the comfortable. Use the dichotomous yes or no or multiple choice question. You can give the multiple choice so that user or the population can select, or any person. Suppose you can ask which food you will like. You can give the choice: samosa, onion dosa. So you can give the choice. You can ask. Use open-ended questions. ठीक है, तो हमें बहुत ध्यान से पूछना. कुछ ऐसे क्वेश्चन होते हैं जो ठीक है, तो we have to take the precaution whenever we are asking the open-ended question. Avoid using leading questions. ठीक है। लीडिंग क्वेश्चन मीन्स वन क्वेश्चन के आंसर में से दूसरा और फिर तीसरा निकल के आएगा, तो वी हैव टू कीप बी केयरफुल। प्री टेस्ट से क्वेश्चन एयर ऑन ए स्मॉल नंबर ऑफ पीपल, तो हम पहले से टेस्ट करें इस क्वेश्चन एयर को ऑन द स्मॉल नंबर ऑफ पीपल, फिर हम उसको सारे में अप्लाई करें। सो वी कैन टेस्ट द क्वेश्चन एयर ऑन द 2 people 3 people, then we can explore it on the other people. Think about the way you intend to use the collected data when preparing the questionnaire. Okay. Okay. So sampling है क्या भाई? Statistical inference permit us to draw conclusion about a population based on a sample. So sampling is important. Means ये subset है. It is subset of whole population. Is often done for reason of cost. Performing a crash test on every automobile produces impractical. Okay, so what we can do, what kind of analysis we can do? So is often done for the reason of cost. Okay, so it is less expensive to sample 1000 television viewers than 100 million TV viewers. So practically it should be possible. Okay, so in any case sample population and the targeted population should be similar to one another. Like what sample I have taken and what is our target population, it should be similar. Like if we want to introduce a new business in an area, so whatever sample you have taken initially, that should be similar to a target population to whom you are designing a product, to whom you are going to do a business. If you are designing a product for a low income group, so it should be according to that. If you are designing a product for middle, it should be according to that. Sample you can take according to the target population. So it should be similar, it should be realistic to make it realistic. Sampling plan is just a method or procedure. So these are the different methods. Simple random sampling, stratified sampling, these are the name of the method. Now, what is simple random sampling? Randomly we can select, like lottery method. We have purchased the ticket. Now one person will pick out. Okay, it can be picked out. Or random sampling, lottery method. Drawing 3 names from a hat containing all the names of the students in the class is an example of simple random sampling. Okay, randomly we can do, we can select random method is the easiest method. Okay, like this is the example. Government income tax auditor must choose a sample of 40 of 1000 return to audit. Okay, like here in the figure you can see. Okay, so randomly the one has been selected. Okay, so rounded up value. So you can see in the next figure. So okay, so these are the random numbers. So in the case of random numbers, so these are selected, numbers have been generated. तो round one value क्या है? 801 और random number क्या है इसका? 800.857. So if we round up this value, so rounded value क्या आएगी? 801. So you can see this is the range of the random numbers. So Excel file random sampling तो okay, इसके लिए डेटा भी अवेलेबल है, इसको किया जा सकता है यूजिंग द रैंड फंक्शन. वी कैन जनरेट ए रैंडम नंबर. स्ट्रैटिफाइड रैंडम सैम्पलिंग होती है कि स्ट्रैटिफाइड क्या हो गया? स्ट्रैटिफाइड मीन्स वी हैव डिवाइडेड, हमने एक स्ट्रैटा बना लिए हैं, क्लास बना लिए स्ट्रैटा. ठीक है, जैसे कि स्ट्रैटा 1 में क्या है? जेंडर मेल फीमेल, ये हमने लिया जेंडर. नहीं, स्ट्रैटा 2 हमने क्या लिया? दूसरा फीचर ले लिया, कोई एज वाइज है हमारे. स्ट्रैटा 3 दैट इज ऑक्यूपेशन प्रोफेशनल कैरेक्टर, ये हमने ले लिया. So these are the three strata: strata 1, strata 2, strata 3. So from these we can select randomly. This is the this is a random method, but this is stratified because we are not going to lose anyone. So we can acquire about the total population, make inference within a stratum, or make comparison across the data. After the population has been stratified, we can use the simple random sampling. Generate a complete sampling. And there is another method also, that is called cluster sample, like for the food business you can do. Suppose if you want to start a fruit business, like it is in the gold market or it is in the Kalyanpur. So there are the two market which is famous for the fruit. So there is a cluster. If you want to conduct a research on that data, on that problem, so then you have to do the cluster sampling, because everywhere you cannot get the fruits. Gold market you will go, that is one. So the cluster, this is cluster sample, because there is a cluster of the shopper hawkers there. In the Kalyanpur you can get the fruits. So this is kind of cluster sampling. It's a simple random sample of groups or cluster of elements. This method is useful whenever it is difficult or costly to develop a complete list of population member, or when the population elements are widely dispersed geographically. Widely dispersed means फ्रूट सेलर्स कहाँ पे मिलते हैं हमें? कल्याणपुर मिलते हैं या गोल्ड मार्केट मिलते हैं, लेकिन हम सारे में ही घूमते रहेंगे अगर, सो इट विल कॉस्ट यू हाई. सो व्हाट इज़ द नीड टू वेस्ट द रिसोर्स? सो वी विल लुक एट द रिसोर्स ऑल्सो. तो क्लस्टर सैम्पलिंग इज़ यूजफुल इन दैट, कि जहाँ पे उस तरह का मार्केट है हम उसी जगह पे रिसर्च करेंगे. क्लस्टर सैम्पलिंग में इंक्रीज सैम्पलिंग एरर ड्यू टू सिमिलैरिटीज अमंग क्लस्टर मेंबर्स हो सकती है. Sample size, this is important issue. Numerical techniques for determining sample size will be described later. So these are all non-sampling errors. Sampling में error हो सकती है that refer to the difference between the sample and population that exists only because of the observation that happened with the select. कभी कभी हम हो सकता है कि biased way में selection हो जाए, लेकिन हमें biased नहीं होना चाहिए. हमने जो भी पार्ट सेलेक्ट किया है, it should be the representative of whole population. Whatever part we are selecting, suppose I am selecting only few students, so that should be the representative of whole the population. जैसे मुझे कोई ग्रुप बनाया, so I will select few students from chemical, MSME, BSc, B Pharma. So I should take from all the class, so that will be a best group. But there can be error. अगर हमने कोई पार्ट ले लिया और उसमें सिर्फ बी फार्मा की स्टूडेंट आ गए, तो that will be limited range. तो इस तरह की सैम्पलिंग एरर हो सकती है. तो हमें तो स्ट्रैटिफाइड सैम्पलिंग वहाँ पे वर्क करते हैं. स्ट्रैटिफाइड सैम्पलिंग इज़ बेस्ट देयर, कि हम सब में से लेते हैं स्टूडेंट्स. सैम्पलिंग एरर होती है, उसका हम डिफरेंस को मिनिमाइज करते हैं. तो इन योर डेली लाइफ यू परफॉर्म दिस काइंड ऑफ थिंग इन एनी ऑर्गेनाइज. नॉन सैम्पलिंग एरर हो सकती हैं. ठीक है, कि जो हमने डेटा लिया है, डेटा हमने फीड किया है, जैसे पॉपुलेशन का डेटा है, सो वी शुड नॉट फीड द बैड डेटा रॉन्ग. ओके, हमने ऑब्जर्वेशन नहीं किया और हमने फीड कर दिया, सो इट कैन बी द मोर सीरियस प्रॉब्लम. सो डेटा हम जो भी फिलअप कर रहे हैं, जो भी हम ले रहे हैं, दैट शुड बी करेक्ट. ओके, सो इट डिपेंड्स हाउ वी आर कलेक्टिंग द डेटा, और हमें करेक्ट डेटा को फिलअप करना है फॉर्म में जो लिखा है. सपोज किसी ने कुछ आंसर किया, सो वी शुड ओनली फिल दैट डेटा. सो दैट इज़ इम्पॉर्टेंट. डेटा कलेक्शन में भी हमें क्या है, ऑथेंटिसिटी को मेंटेन रखना है. वी हैव टू मेंटेन द ऑथेंटिसिटी. नॉन सैम्पलिंग एयर भी हो सकती है. नॉन सैम्पलिंग एयर ये है कि हम डेटा अगर गलत फीड हो रहा है या कुछ भी हो सकता है. सैम्पलिंग मेथड हमने कोई चूज़ किया है तो ठीक है, रैंडमली किया है तो उसमें हम थोड़े ज़्यादा ले सकते हैं सैम्पल्स. So there are the different methods. We can change the method of sampling also again and we can do our research again. तो इसको हम कम करने के लिए कर सकते हैं. अब ये क्यों आती है डेटा एक्विजिशन प्रॉब्लम, क्यों आती है? इनकरेक्ट रिस्पॉन्स. जैसे कि कुछ लोग हैं जिनसे हम क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हैं, इफ़ दे डू नॉट रिप्लाई द करेक्ट आंसर, तब भी हो सकता है ये. इनकरेक्ट मेजरमेंट, जैसे फॉल्टी इक्विपमेंट्स हैं. सपोज कोई रिसर्च है, उसके लिए हमने फॉल्टी इक्विपमेंट यूज़ किया. So this mistake can be प्राइमरी सोर्स से ही हमें गलत इन्फॉर्मेशन मिलती है. अगर इनएक्यूरेट रिकॉर्डिंग ऑफ डेटा ड्यू टू मिस इंटरप्रिटेशन ऑफ टर्म्स, इनएक्यूरेट रिस्पॉन्स टू क्वेश्चन कंसर्निंग सेंसिटिव इशू. अगर कोई सेंसिटिव इशू है और विल आस्क ए क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम द पॉपुलेशन, दे विल नॉट रिप्लाई यू द करेक्ट आंसर. ओके, फॉर दैट यू नीड टू लुक फॉर द अनदर मेथड. सर्वे वहाँ पे काम नहीं करेगा, देखना पड़ेगा. नॉन रिस्पॉन्स एरर, कुछ लोग रिस्पॉन्स ही नहीं करेंगे तो ऑन को हम काउंट करते हैं सैम्पलिंग में और दे आर नॉट रिस्पॉन्सिंग, तो उससे भी बायस क्रिएट हो जाएगा. दे विल नॉट प्रोवाइड यू द डेटा बट इट क्रिएट द बायस इन द रिपोर्ट. हमने इनको इंक्लूड किया सैम्पल में बट दे आर नॉट रिप्लाइंग. ओके, सो दिस वाज द ऑल काइंड ऑफ. और इस तरह की एरर है, हमें बचना है. सिलेक्शन बायस कि हमने सैम्पल में क्या लिया है, टारगेट पॉपुलेशन क्या है, जिस सैम्पल को हम ले रहे हैं. मैंने आपको एक्सप्लेन किया था एक ड्रेस वाला केस, तो उसी तरह से है. सपोज यू वांट टू लुक फॉर द डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ ड्रेसेस, तो आप यू विल आस्क फ्रॉम द शॉपकीपर, हमें वो वाला भी इंक्लूड कीजिए, उसमें से भी दिखाइए. तो इस तरह से आप सिलेक्शन बायस को रोक सकते हैं. सपोज कोई सैम्पल है, उन्होंने दिखाया ही नहीं आपको, तो आप बताएंगे आपके पास इतना आपका बजट है, सो दे कैन शो यू. तो आपको यू हैव टू बी ऑनेस्ट, आपको अपना बजट बताना होगा, तो दे विल शो यू अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट. लेकिन समटाइम्स यू डोंट वांट टू टेल योर बजट कि हाउ मच मनी यू हैव, तो आप थोड़ा सा बढ़ा के या कम करके उन्हें बता सकते हैं. You can tell the shopkeeper, you just show me, I will give you the idea. जिस भी तरह से. So you need to negotiate there. Selection bias को रोकने के लिए, ठीक है. Then you will find a optimum solution. So this was all about the selection and sampling. If you have any question, then you can ask. Okay, there was a disconnection again. ठीक है, lecture is now over. I have done the recording of the lecture. So okay, I will post it on the YouTube tomorrow. और इसमें अभी आप लोगों को कोई क्वेश्चन पूछना है तो पूछ सकते हैं. आई एम शोइंग यू द स्लाइड. ओके, यू कैन टेल मी वेयर आई लेफ्ट यू. और डिफरेंट सैम्पलिंग मेथड्स हम डिस्कस कर रहे थे. आई थिंक सारे सैम्पलिंग मेथड आपको क्लियर है. रैंडम सैम्पलिंग, स्ट्रैटिफाइड. Hello. Now you can ask the questions. Yes, there are the different sampling methods which I have discussed just now. Like random sampling, we can choose any numbers. Like this is the example. This is the random number generator. So here we have the value 801. So randomly we have select. Stratified random sampling, we have the different strata. तो ये थोड़ा इम्प्रूव्ड मेथड है क्योंकि सभी लोग इसमें आ जाएंगे. डिफरेंट एज ग्रुप्स, ऑक्यूपेशन और जेंडर. क्लस्टर्ड सैम्पलिंग होती है. क्लस्टर सैम्पलिंग मैंने आपको फ्रूट सेलर्स का एग्जांपल दिया है. जैसे कि फ्रूट मार्केट है, गोल मार्केट है, कल्याणपुर है, तो क्लस्टर्ड सैम्पलिंग होती है. कि हम सारी जगह विज़िट नहीं करें, सभी मार्केट में जहाँ पे फ्रूट्स मिलते हैं वहीं हम विज़िट करें, क्योंकि हमारे रिसोर्सेज से बचेंगे ना, क्योंकि हम सभी जगह विज़िट करेंगे दैट विल कॉस्ट यू हाई। सैम्पल साइज इज इम्पॉर्टेंट। नाउ दीज आर द एरर्स। एरर्स हो सकती हैं सैम्पलिंग एरर, नॉन सैम्पलिंग एरर। सैम्पलिंग एरर्स हो सकती हैं कि हमने गलत सैम्पल, वी हैव सेलेक्टेड द रॉन्ग सैम्पल्स, या फिर कोई एक पार्ट सेलेक्ट कर लिया है लेकिन मिक्सिंग होनी चाहिए वहाँ पे। सपोज कोई भी हम सैम्पलिंग करें, कोई फूड टेस्टिंग कर रहे हैं, तो जो ग्रेन है वो मिक्सड होने चाहिए, तब हम विल टेक द सैम्पल। फूड है वो मिक्सड होना चाहिए, जो जिसकी भी हम सैम्पलिंग कर रहे हैं, टेस्ट करने जा रहे हैं, वो मिक्स होना चाहिए। इसको मिनिमाइज़ कर सकते हैं। अब नॉन सैम्पलिंग एरर भी हो सकती हैं। नॉन सैम्पलिंग एरर्स हो सकती है हमने डेटा ठीक से फीड नहीं किया, सो दैट इज़ ड्यू टू द कस्टमर ठीक से रिस्पॉन्स नहीं किया, जो जिन पे हम रिसर्च कर रहे थे दे हैव नॉट रिप्लाइड वेल, करेक्ट आंसर नहीं किए उन्होंने। कुछ सेंसिटिव क्वेश्चंस होते हैं उनके भी वो रिप्लाई नहीं करते हैं सही से, तो एरर हो सकती हैं। डेटा ठीक से फीड ना करना, कुछ लोग रिस्पॉन्स नहीं करते हैं तो उसकी भी एरर होती है। सिलेक्शन बायस, कि हमने टारगेट पॉपुलेशन ठीक से नहीं सेलेक्ट की है, जो भी सैम्पल लिया है वो ठीक से नहीं सेलेक्ट किया, तो हम चेंज कर सकते हैं पॉपुलेशन को, दूसरी पॉपुलेशन पे वो स्टडी कर सकते हैं। ठीक है, अब आप लोग बताएंगे, कोई क्वेश्चन है तो आप लोग बताइए थोड़ा। नाउ मिस्टर विजय सिंह विल टेक द अनदर लेक्चर।